We are recording. So it is May 26th. And let me know if you guys can hear me because my computer audio is a little wonky. It's May 26th. And what we want to do tonight is just share a little bit more about really what coaching is, how it's changed our lives, and just really what kind of the day-to-day looks like, how we earn, things like that. Because I'll be honest, and I think a lot of you guys can attest to that, whether you're a coach on this team right now, or you're someone who has, had thoughts about like, how does this even work? I think of, when I think of something like network marketing, my background is in corporate America. I'm just very resistant. And so my hope in this call is that rather than just tell you my personal experience or go through a lot of detail, it's easier just to consolidate and have different perspectives and then share really very simply how we do this business and how it's just been the best thing that's truly happened to me in my life. And I think a lot of you guys that are on this call tonight can speak to that too. So what I want to do first is I'm going to share my screen. I've got some slides we're going to go through. And we'll start, maybe if I can navigate. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so a little bit about me. So my name is Kelsey, and for those of you who don't know me, I started coaching about 3 years ago, and I want to just kind of briefly give you my story, how I got here. So I was, very much into health and fitness. I played soccer in college. I was just very athletic my entire life. Then after college came real world, came the eating that, was just hard without the intense workouts I used to do. And I really struggled with, confidence in my appearance and things like that. And I also found that things weren't sustainable. And so I've actually been, a fun fact is I've actually done Beachbody workouts for over 10 years. So I've had the DVDs, they got me ready for my wedding. They've kind of been a staple in my life. However, I never really was held accountable. My nutrition was all over the place. And I just struggled with being committed to it. And even funnier is I listened to a webinar like this about 6 years ago, I think. And as you can see, I've only been coaching 3 years. So it was always something in the back of my mind, like, how does this work? I really love feeling good and helping other people feel good. But I just didn't think it was something that would be for me, because to me, my experience was network marketing was something where someone was trying to sell you something and that was it, because that was my experience I had had. And then I realized after I'd had my first kid, I never, I watched the webinar, never really thought much about it. But after I had had my first kid, I really struggled with, who's 5 now, a lot of postpartum. And I knew that when I had my second little guy that I really wanted to make sure I had a plan in place. So at that time, I started talking to my coach. I got very laser focused on coming out of postpartum, or coming out of that 6 weeks when I could work out again with a plan. And I just went all in. I was like, I'm going to do nutrition. I'm going to do a workout. I'm just going to give myself this gift because I'm worth it. And I don't ever want to feel the way I felt before. But long story short, I went back to work. I was traveling, 75% of the time in an investment banking role. And, life got really crazy. But the one thing that kind of stayed consistent were these workouts, and was the accountability and community from coaches. And so I knew at that point that this is something I wanted to pursue. And at the time I was like, if I can get 2 girls signed up and get my Shakeology or get my Energize paid for, or even a fraction paid for, I'm winning. And that was really my only goal. And then over the last 3 years, it's just really progressed to something that I found that passion can actually meet purpose. And if you're on this call or listening to this recording, no, you don't have to have this desire to quit your full-time job. You don't have to have these big, crazy goals to, retire your husband or something like that. But if you just have even the interest of just a little bit, because you love what these routines do for you, coaching may actually hold you even more accountable. And then all of a sudden it becomes more fun, because not because you're earning income, because that's obviously a fun part of it, but because you're getting more people like you to do these things with you. And all of a sudden, your accountability group continues to grow and grow. And it's just like a really awesome experience because I'll be honest, like I don't want to show up every day, but these girls on this call and our team and our challenge group really make it something that I just know I want to show up for myself, but more than anything, I want to show up for them. And it's just changed my life, my husband, and our little boys' lives in so many ways. I'm just a way better mama, and I'm going to keep talking so I don't get emotional because I really, it is something I'm so passionate about because it truly did save me in a really dark time. So that's the very fast version of how I got here and kind of my story. And so what I want to clarify for those of you listening, maybe even to the recording too, is that if you think of coaching, or network marketing, I would challenge you to take a close look at this slide because first and foremost, the coolest part about coaching is just that we are sharing our journey. And what's even cooler is this business is solely built on just you showing up, sharing inspiration and value to your followers, your family, your friends. You can run your business. It doesn't necessarily have to be on social media either. It's just one of the easier mechanisms to get your message out. But it's really just based on sharing. We're not nutritionists. We're not fitness instructors. We're not salespeople. We really and truly have found something that works for us. And we want others to experience that too. I remember thinking, I've got a little timer here too, so I don't keep talking forever. I remember when I first started, I'm like, why isn't everyone doing this? I get it. Like some people love gyms and love their trainer or whatever that their experience is. But why doesn't everyone have these in their back pocket? Because life gets crazy. We just have so many great resources to offer people. And at the time this is being recorded, we're currently in quarantine time. So we don't really even know what the future holds as far as just going back to our normal, maybe outside of the home wellness routines. So I think what's really nice is as coaches, you don't have to have this background or, have this, what you deem goal weight body, but really just a passion to be on your own journey and, the hope of inspiring others. So it's just really cool how it kind of all fits together. And I think sometimes we think that we have to have these prereqs to be a coach, and we really don't. I liked sports and things like that, but I never really, had this background of I was horrible with nutrition. And thankfully, thanks to these tools, I've been able to learn basic principles that I can now share through Beachbody's resources with people. And it's just a really cool concept. So quick kind of more info about just what our team does. And then I'll jump into our team kind of sharing is our goal isn't to sell something to someone. Our goal isn't to sign up as many people as we can, but our goal is we want people to have the experience we've had in terms of just changing their life. That we want to see mamas feeling their best. We want to see wives feeling their best, corporate girls or men too. I've got some men challengers. And we do that by just giving them inspiration, accountability, and resources. So kind of think of it like we're their personal cheerleader, but you don't have to be super peppy either. It's okay if you're okay, I'm so not Kelsey's level of enthusiasm. One, I'm also having a little happy hour wine, but it's also just I get super fired up about this because I know how much it changed my life because someone had the had the faith to reach out to me and they weren't fearful of reaching out to me to ask me to join. And we get to be incredible friends virtually, but we're also real life friends. And so I think our community, our team, what you'll get to hear next is the best part in all of this because we celebrate each other's wins and we celebrate each other's lows and the challenges and everything in between. And when our kids are crazy, we can happy hour. Like it's all, like we're all kind of in this together, which, life can get messy and quarantine can get hard, but it's really cool that we have this constant in our life. And, our main goal is just to help people all over embrace their life and feel confident and more empowered every single day. So that's kind of like the quick version of what we do. So now what I want to do is I want to turn it over to a couple girls on our team so they can share some of their experiences. So Jen, I think if you unmute yourself, I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and yes, it says I'm a busy mom of 4. In 2015, I actually lost my daughter. I had a pregnancy loss at 20 weeks, and I almost lost my life as well. And it just gave me a lot of clarity. She was our second child, so I had one prior to that, and he kind of just, when I had him, it just kind of, I wasn't really into working out, or I would use those excuse notes in high school, and I just wasn't really into it. And when he was born, when my first was born, I, made that cautious decision, like, okay, something needs to change, because my body, I wasn't happy. I wasn't confident at all. And he, my firstborn, came in my life, and something needed to change. So it was always in the back of my head. After my daughter passed away in 2015, I was I was a full-time teacher at the time, and I was not happy. My passion was gone. I did not want to be a teacher anymore. And it was kind of like, well, now what do I do? I had this really good opportunity to go into insurance. So I left teaching and went into insurance. During that transition from teaching to insurance, I had a rainbow baby. I had my second son, so I have 2 kids at that time. And I went into the insurance job thinking, all right, this is where I'm going to stay, and I'm just going to work the corporate ladder all the way up. About 3 or 4 months in, I was not happy, and I knew that something needed to change. So I went ahead and I had to find something. By that time, I had been in 2 other network marketing companies, and I was already starting my third. And I had previously been in Beachbody, but just wasn't consistent. I started it and I left. And so I knew it was always back there, because the workouts were there, the programs were there, but I just didn't stay consistent. And I thought, Pinterest and YouTube is where it's at. So then left, was insurance, and ended up getting pregnant again and had our daughter. And after her, I decided at that time that I needed to stay home after 3 babies. So when she was born, I realized that I, had no confidence, zero, like I needed to figure out, the body didn't go back to to where it was supposed to be. I was dealing with a little sadness, and I had to figure out, okay, now what? And that's where Beachbody came back into my life. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom. This is my 4th network marketing gig, and I've been in for a full year. And I definitely, no turning back. The friendships that I've made, the community, and this team is phenomenal. And we get so much support and so many resources just at the tips of our fingers. And it's just a matter of using them and getting those, at your hands. And you just got to ask if you are questioning anything. You just have to ask, and you shall receive. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to Kelsey, and maybe introduce the next presenter.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for sharing. Jen is an incredible leader on our team and probably one of the hardest workers in terms of her hours, because Mama over there, her kids get up at like 4:45 in the morning and she tries to beat them up. So kudos to her. She's incredible. Okay, so Lia, I'll turn it over to you. You are next.
I forgot I have to unmute myself.
Yep, you're good.
Sorry, it's Zoom Live. Hey guys, so I'm Lia Beth, and as you can see, my life is crazy like every mom's or individual's or just person who wants to go and make life wonderful. So I do have two small children, they're 5 and 3. And they're some of the most wildest human beings that you've ever met in your life. Like, I have friends who come over, I have other parents who come over and go, what's wrong with your children? And it's just their high energy, and we support that in our household because both my husband and I are high energy, and it's been a lot of fun. And so from the day that I met my husband, we have been on the go. In the past 6 years, we built 3 homes. We have had multiple jobs, different things, all in the same career, but we like to live and experience and go. And so it's really funny because Kelsey and I, Kelsey's my coach, the one who's doing this, her and I went to college together, and I was a cheerleader. She was a soccer player. We were all friends with one another. And so I was fortunate enough to cheer and run track all through college. And then I became a cheerleading coach. And so I have always been extremely engaged and active, and my body and being fit has always been important to me. And then I found a career in college administration, and I am fully devoted to my career, and my goal is to be a college president one day. So my ultimate career goal is to grow in traditional ways, and that is to become a college president. And so to do that, I needed to go and finish up some more curriculum. So I needed to go and get a doctorate. So a year ago, I started a doctoral program. Well, what I was doing to offset my inability to go to a gym all the time, because, hey, I got married and I had babies. And if you didn't know, sometimes going to a gym and have babies can be pretty difficult. I live in a rural town, and so having daycares at gyms isn't always the case. And I don't want to have to pay for a sitter so that I can go to a gym. So I took up running, and running became my life. And, you know, Kelsey reached out to me a year ago and said, hey, don't you want to try out this Beachbody thing? I mean, you're all about being fit. You've always loved that. And I said, no, I'm training for a half marathon. I don't want to mess things up. So I did my half marathon. She reached out again. I pushed away and I said, no, that's not for me. I'm good. You know, I'm doing like Jen said, the whole Pinterest things. I know how to work out. I was a college cheerleading coach. I can run the routines. But what happens is that you forget about yourself and you start focusing on everyone around you, especially when you throw kids into the mix. And so I just let things go. And it was around Christmas time. So here I am, full-fledged in a doctorate program. I'm full-fledged into my work. I've got my 2 kids and my husband. It's Christmas, and I'm finding that I'm missing myself. So what is missing about me? I'm ill most of the time. I'm enjoying life, but is it authentic enjoyment? And, you know, ultimately, positivity is one of my highest traits out there. That was gone. And I was so down and guilting and judging myself that I was like, time to get it together, Lia Beth. What do you need to do? And at about that same day, Kelsey sent me another message and said, hey, I know that you've said hold off, but I just want to throw this out there. And I said, sure, let's try it out. We're going on Christmas break. And good thing about higher ed, you get holiday breaks. So I said, 2 weeks at home, let me try it. I tried it, and OMG, guys, people who haven't tried this are absolutely crazy. It has changed my world. I've lost weight, not even weight. Actually, I have kept consistent weight, but I have lost inches, and that matters way more to me than weight, because who's ever going to really look at your scale? I don't care what the doctor sees. But I do care about the new wardrobe that I was about to have to buy. No. This girl ain't spending money on new clothes because I like my clothes that I currently have. So it's about like you, but most of all, I found a group of friends. Like, I get to log in every day at 2:30 and have a group of women that say, you've got this. Like the other day, I was in Zoom meetings with officials and politicians and all of these people then it was just chaotic and I didn't have time to meet with these girls, but I knew I needed that positive uplift. So I logged in and for 5 minutes and looked at their face, and that was exactly the push that I needed to move forward. And so what gives you with this whole coaching thing, and even with whole Beachbody, whether you want to do coaching or not, is just a group of people that are going to support you, encourage you, and tell you you can do it. It does not matter about the pace that you're on. It doesn't matter about what you specifically are doing. It's the fact that you are getting up every day and saying, I can do this, and that you try. And that's all we care about. And so we want to help you try to be a better person because you want to be a better person. Your better person isn't my better person. Your better person is you. And so what this has done for me is it helps me decrease my stress. It helps me be a better mom. It helps me be a better employee. It makes me a better wife. OMG, my husband likes me so much more that he's actually started doing this. So I'm telling you guys, go forth, try, give it a shot. If you don't like it, quit. But heck, what's worth it? Better life? Heck yeah. So that's me, guys.
That is so awesome. And so much truth. Like I can't even, I have nothing to add to that. That's exactly how I think a lot of people feel. It's like a breath of fresh air, because I was the same way, very hesitant to join something that was an MLM or network marketing focus, but it can change you. All right, Joanna, our mom of 4.
Hi. Okay, well, I have my notes here because I want to make sure that I say everything and don't get all like scrambled in the brain. But I'm Joanna. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4, 2 girls, 2 boys, ages 8, 7, 5, and 4. And I was always very, very active, in really great shape. Throughout college, after college, I just loved sports. I loved hiking. I loved being adventurous, going on cool trips. I just loved being outside and just being active. But that changed when I started having my kids. I had 4 kids in 4.5 years. So they're all 16 months apart. And I gained about 60 pounds with each pregnancy. And I didn't have time for my body to recover afterwards to lose the weight before I got pregnant again. So after my 4th child, I was about, 35, 40 pounds heavier than I wanted to be. And I just had this weight in my stomach area that I just couldn't get rid of, no matter how hard I tried. And anyways, so I was exhausted all the time. My main goal was meet the needs of my kids, of course, and so I just put all of my effort, energy into my children, and then I had nothing left. I had nothing left for myself, nothing left for my husband. It was just the kids were my main focus. And for them being at that age when they were so small, they're just so incredibly needy. And I mean, my oldest was 4, so she could help a little bit, with things, but a lot of it was on me. So I was stressed out all the time and mentally just not in a really good place. And then about 2 years after my last child was born, because of the area around my stomach, I was diagnosed with a severe diastasis recti, which is the separation in your abs. So I went to physical therapy for that. And they really cautioned about doing, staying away from certain exercises and stuff. So that scared me, because then I thought, well, geez, I really want to get into working out again, but I don't want to mess that up. And so I didn't know what to do. And I had been following Kelsey on Instagram for like a year, just watching her. but afraid to get started because I didn't want to mess anything up with my stomach. And finally, I was just like, you know what? I need to get back into exercising. I need to do something for myself. So I joined with Kelsey and became a discount coach a couple months after I joined, just because I wanted the discount. I did nothing with coaching for about a year. I didn't think that I was ready for coaching, and I thought it was going to take way too much time that I didn't have. So I was really nervous about starting it. But I did my workouts first thing in the morning before the kids got up. I just wanted and needed to pour into me in the morning so that I felt productive, ready to take on the day, ready, alert for when the kids woke up, that then I could meet their needs better than I had been before and not getting so stressed out all the time. But then this past January, I really started working the business. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm already a discount coach. I need to just do this. I need to just put everything in. And I started sharing my story on Instagram and Facebook and just kind of putting it all out there. And people responded really positively towards that. They, could relate. And it doesn't take nearly as much time as I thought it was going to take. It's not nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be to do the whole coaching. And it really offers me an outlet separate from my kids, something that is for me, that I can like take ownership of and feel really proud of myself, making connections with ladies, and just the financial side of it, being able to help provide for my family. Feeling like I'm contributing, that isn't just my husband. And the money that I earn then is just extra fun stuff that we can do that normally we would have to say no to. So that's my story.
No, I love it. And that speaks a lot from coming from someone who has not one, not two, not three, but 4 kids. Like, I don't know how she does it. And she's homeschooling now because of quarantine. So just a lot of things, but still works this business kind of in the margins of motherhood. So awesome. Okay. Yep. So Lindsey, our most recent mama, you're up next.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Sorry. The baby is below, so hopefully he does not wake up. But hey, I'm Lindsey. I am a mom of 2 boys. So I have a almost 4-year-old, and down here is a 5-month-old boy. I am a full-time nurse. So right now I actually work from home even before coronavirus. I'm doing health insurance work. But now I have the kids home. So it's been a little bit crazy. I actually did 21-day fix after I had my first son. But I did not, Kelsey was not my coach. I had just like a coworker, and she was helping me out, but I quit. I wasn't consistent with it. So I didn't have any accountability. So I just did like different gyms. I did Orange Theory. I did like outdoor boot camps, all different things after I became a mom, just to kind of like get active. None of it really worked. So once I started with Kelsey, Kelsey and I actually played soccer together. Forgot that part. I have notes because I have like total mom brain, sorry. So Kelsey and I played soccer in college together, and we are best friends. And I always saw her, sharing her journey. She was having so much fun. I could see how happy she was. And I really just wanted to like be a part of that. It's so amazing what she was doing, changing people's lives. So I was like, I need to do this. So I joined in with her, and like most people, I was a discount coach for a while, just kind of behind the scenes, getting my discount for all my products, But then I started sharing like my journey online. So especially when I became pregnant with my second son, I was posting workouts of, me being pregnant, doing T20, and people were messaging me like, wow, that's amazing that, you're staying active and like, good for you. And so I was like, whoa, people are interested in what I'm doing. This is pretty neat. So I kind of obviously got some interest, and I was like, well, maybe I can kind of coach a little bit. And obviously I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy baby. I had a miscarriage a few months before, and so these workouts were really amazing. While I was going through like the grieving process, I had also lost my mom to cancer when my son was 1, right a few months before my wedding. So I was like obviously pretty depressed, going through the grieving process. Didn't want to go to the gym and be like tearful or crying. So definitely had my moments where I really leaned in on this community, and I'm so thankful for this community. Like many of the women have said, like literally if you have a bad day, if you didn't get your workout in, you ate like crap all weekend, whatever it is, like no one's going to judge you. Everyone is so supportive of everything that you do, which is so amazing. And for me, I live in Texas. I'm from Georgia, but all of my family, most of my like good friends, they're all thousands of miles away. So for me, having that outlet of a community is so important that, I can just go in and say, hey, I had a bad day, or the baby's been crazy, or, I had a really bad weekend of eating like crap. No one is going to say anything or be like, oh my gosh, you didn't get your workout in, you're a coach, oh my gosh. No, like this is real life. Most of us are moms. It's like chaotic, obviously, with quarantine life. So, I mean, we just share that journey. None of us are perfect. We don't have the perfect bodies. I mean, I'm in my postpartum journey, obviously, having a baby. But because of this, I was able to start working out 3 weeks postpartum because I was so active through my whole pregnancy and had a natural labor, which was one of my goals. And I honestly contribute that a lot to the workouts and just the mindset. I started coaching probably, I think it was like September of 2019. So I was like in my 3rd trimester, kind of like casually coaching. Then once I was home on maternity leave, I kind of, obviously had a little bit more time and would start reaching out to more people. And right now, obviously life is still busy for all of us, but I still just kind of do it in the pockets of my time when I can. And just like Joanna said, like it doesn't take as much time as you think. And it really is just about sharing your journey truthfully, and people will come to you and be interested in what you're doing. And they want to be happy and feel good like we do. And then I wrote like a little quote that I in one of my notes. Let me see. Okay. So this is kind of what I'll end with, but I wrote, being a coach is so much more than workouts. It's sharing your journey, no matter how imperfect you are, and showing other women that they deserve something more, which I truly, honestly believe in, because this like honestly fills my cup. It makes me so happy. Different than like my nursing job where I can actually help people and help them support them in their healthy journey.
You are awesome. Oh, I love that quote. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And all misty over here. All right. And our last coach I want to share on our team is Jess. And then I'm gonna dive into just some simple things really quickly about what a typical day looks like and how we earn. So kind of the fun stuff, but also how really and truly simple it really is. So Jess, I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. So real quick, like it says, I'm a mom of 3. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and soon to be 2-year-old in June. And prior to kids and getting married, I was definitely always active, an athlete in high school, and I did like intramural sports in college. After college, I became a preschool teacher, and that's pretty active also because, well, those of us that have kids all know how crazy it can be, and add 15 to that and it's even crazier. So that was always my life for, gosh, I think I did that for like 10 years. And then I was training for a marathon, and the next morning one day I couldn't walk. I like completely just fell out of bed and couldn't walk. So that like was devastating, and I fell into depression from it, because my therapy was just like, I honestly probably half-assed it, to be honest. Like, I didn't do the greatest at it. I didn't push myself like I should have. I was young. I was like 23, maybe, probably like 23, 24. And I just felt like, oh, I'm healthy. I was an athlete. I'll bounce back, no problems. But that didn't happen. And the weight started piling on. And it just wasn't going anywhere because I wasn't doing anything about it and trying to make my knees stronger. So I was in and out of different gyms for a while, always ended up quitting because, I mean, who has time to go to a gym when you're trying to work and go out with friends and all the other stuff that you put above your gym time. And then got married, had kids, and then there's definitely no time for that. So I know Kelsey because of my brother, Patrick. He played basketball at Queens, and they were good friends, and I basically lived there in his dorm room for like 2 years. I was always back and forth every single weekend, sometimes longer than a weekend. And I just became really good friends with all the girls that lived down the hall. And that's really how I became close with Kelsey and Lindsey and a couple other girls that went to Queens. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be. Or I guess if it wasn't for my brother, I don't know where I would be, because I don't know anybody else that does Beachbody until Kelsey. So I am very thankful that she came into my life when she did, and that she reached out to me several times. It wasn't until I was pregnant with my last kid that I finally was like, okay, yes, let's do this. I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy. I didn't want to gain a lot of weight like I did before. And I was really trying to focus on myself. And we had moved to Virginia right before I got pregnant with him. So I had nobody, and like just being alone and in a little apartment with 2 other kids, it was awful. So I needed something, and I was thankful to have her and her team at the time. I was a discount coach for a while, for probably a few months. And then I was like, okay, I don't know about this. I'm getting towards the end of my pregnancy. Do I want to keep investing this money? But I did. I came back and I was like, okay, after I had my son, I was like, all right, now it's time to get the rest of this weight off and get my nutrition in check, because nutrition is awful for me. I've always struggled with it because I was always skinny and active. So I never had to worry about what I ate. I ate whatever I wanted to. And then once the kids came, it was like total opposite. Then you have to watch everything that you eat. So I was happy to have her on my team and help me with my nutrition. And once I became a coach back in July or August, so it's almost a year for me, I really like dove in deep and saw all the benefits of coaching from it, because when you're a challenger, it's great. But when you become a coach, it's even better. The community and the help and the trainings and just all the information that you get, it's so much better. And honestly, like, coaching is so cheap. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't do it, in my opinion. I mean, it's like $15. What else can you get for $15? Like, you can't buy a business for $15. Like, it's so worth it. And that's about it.
Sorry, I lost my mute.
I was like, wait, what?
I lost my mute button for a second. No, thank you. Yeah, so Thanks for sharing. So as you can see, so some of these women I've known like different seasons of my life. Some are women like Joanna I never met. I met her through the power of Instagram. So, what's really cool about coaching is you can run it in any fashion you want. Like you may follow me or another coach on this call right now if you're watching the recording and think, okay, like I would love to do this, but I could never do it the way she does it. And that's what kind of what we wanted to share is how it's really built on how you want to. So if you look at the last bullet on the slide, I'm starting from the bottom. Each coach's daily schedule is determined by them to fit their day. And so I think that that's really important to note because like Lia, for example, I mean, she's a mom, she's getting her doctorate, she has a crazy busy full-time job, and she recognizes that she needs the accountability. So her goals may look different as far as how she wants to take her coaching business than mine, for example. But the cool thing about it is we can still come together in community. We can all cheer each other on. And what's even cooler is like, as you start your coaching journey, the reason for kind of why you did it starts to evolve. And really, like, if you want to think about, okay, maybe you're sitting there watching this now or watching the recording and saying, this all sounds great, but I could what is it really like to be a coach? And really and truly, it's just about showing up for your journey, sharing it, and spreading more of that positivity. And that doesn't mean to say you can't have bad days. I struggled today. Like if you watch me on Instagram, I had a hard day. But you know what? My hope is that my struggles can inspire someone else because I can relate to you. I'm a coach, just like there's 400,000 other coaches in our network, but I'm going to resonate with you because we're alike in some fashion, whether it's through our struggles or whether it's through the things we love. That's what makes us all unique. We're all coaches, but we also all have a different way to run this business, this very inexpensive business to get started. And that's what's really unique about it. And so I always tell a brand new coach or someone who's interested in coaching, start showing up for your journey first. Get a workout program, get an accountability group, and just start consistently building habits. And if you focus on yourself, everything else falls into place. And I know you're thinking, okay, but really, what's next? And it really is that. It's just showing up. And then what's really awesome is we actually have if you guys are those women like kind of very simple to-do list, we have vitals that we call them, where you actually have things that you can check off in a day that will help move your business forward. Things like, number one, showing up for your journey, listening to personal development, connecting with other women, shouting people out. So it all goes back to showing love to yourself, sharing that, and spreading that. And obviously these are high level. These aren't like the nitty gritty, but I always want new coaches to know, and someone who's interested in coaching, that this is what it's truly about. Just like Joanna said, she waited for a year to do this because she didn't think she had time. But the reality is we can actually look back at how we're spending time and maybe we're already scrolling Instagram for hours a day. It's crazy if you actually turn on the timer on your phone, how often you're on social media. What if you could turn your scroll into something that makes more of an impact, whether it's financially, through inspiration, motivation? It's just really cool, like kind of thought to think about. So the cool thing about this, and this is kind of what got me, is you also have the opportunity to build an income. So I know that that's always a big question, like, okay, what is my investment and how do I make money? So with coaching, when you get signed up as a challenger with like a challenge pack, so many of you who are watching this probably have gotten started with a challenge pack in the past, or if you've never signed up, basically it just means you're pairing your nutrition and your workouts together in a pack. And fun fact, it's discounted for 7 more days or however many days are left in May, $20 this month. So basically when you sign up for a challenge pack, to sign up for the coaching account, it's free. So there's actually no barrier to entry, no cost to become a coach, which makes it really incredible that you can literally be handed a business opportunity for $0. And then from there, there's a $15 fee each month or $15.95 fee that's charged each month to run your business for you. But you're also getting 25% off everything. So right away, you get that discount, and then you have the ability to earn income. So there's basically two ways you can make money. You can make money through commission. So anytime you help someone get started with, the pack you got started with, or if somebody just wants workouts, or they want some type of product we offer, like collagen, beach bars, we have a bajillion products out there. You make commission from that. So commission ranges from starting at 25%, and then challenge packs typically start at 35%. So right away, you sign up for your coach discount. And if you have a couple sisters or brothers or family members or friends that you just say, hey, you want to do this with me? Right from day one, you can instantly make a commission, which is pretty cool. There's no required trainings, there's no quota, there's nothing you have to do in order to become a coach. It's just right there. And then the second way you earn, and so again, these are kind of basic, we have more detail on how you earn. Excuse me. But the second way you earn is actually building a team of coaches. And so that's where it gets exciting, because as you find other women who maybe have an interest in signing up other friends or family members, or maybe they have a desire to really find something that will earn them real income because they've lost their job because of the recent pandemic, or they are a stay-at-home mom who really needs to have money, extra money for their family. Where you start to earn the residual income is when you find other coaches who do the same thing you just did. So you signed up as a coach, they sign up as a coach, basically repeating the exact steps you did. And as they sign up coaches and they help other customers get started, all of that rolls up to you. And so you still have the opportunity to earn commission, but then you now have an opportunity to earn residually. So that meaning that you are working your business, showing up every day, and your team is too. And then you start to earn money in two different buckets, I would call it. And that's where it can be really exciting from a financial point of perspective. And I know sometimes money can make people uncomfortable, but it really and truly can get very exciting in what it can mean to you. It's not that you make money, it's what the money represents. And I think that I'm a little biased, but for all the network marketing opportunities out there, how cool is it that we're in the business of changing someone's life for the better? So yes, we get rewarded for our efforts, but it's what the money represents. I love that. And then your personal success. So I think another thing I want to level set, and I know we're trying not to talk too long, but I think you come into this business and you think there's maybe a time limit on how quickly you need to get to a goal, or whatever you think in your mind the kind of mark is, you want to make it. And you have to remember that your success is truly built on, the time you have, the commitment, and also being proof of the journey. But that doesn't mean to say that you have to, in order to be successful, you have to dedicate all of this time. It means that if you're inviting people to something, like you're showing up for it, so they understand what it is you're showing up for. And you never have to know everything, be ready to do this, or have any, like I said, anything prior. You literally can start tonight and just have the attitude and a growth mindset of being willing to work and just pour into you and help others along the way. Because I always thought, okay, if I'm going to work out anyway, I might as well help inspire some other friends, family, Instagram followers, and let that actually blossom into something super cool. So that's kind of just something to keep in mind too. And I always like to make sure we tell new coaches that. And then I'll send this to you guys too, because I realize my cursive is probably a little small. But common fears and objections, these are just a few of the ones that I know so many people have and I've had before. But okay, so maybe you've watched all of this and you're like, but I have no time. Okay, well, we have a mom of 4 on here. We have a girl that's getting her doctorate. And that's not to shame you by any means. It's just to show you that we all come from different backgrounds, have different things in our lives, but we all have 24 hours in a day, and your time is true, and your income is truly, and your success in this business is truly built on a direct reflection of the use of your time. I realized like one month, I wasn't really hitting my personal goal I had. And I had been just like watching, watching these random like videos on Facebook, not TikTok. I'm like refuse to do TikTok because I don't want to get sucked into it. But I was like, my time was just going to that. And it's like, okay, well, if I actually channeled some of that or put that time towards maybe something in my business, maybe that would change more of the outcome. So I think it's just really comes down to reprioritizing things, picking things that you're just not going to change. Like, I'm not going to sacrifice family time. I'm not going to be on my phone a ton with my kids around. Like, I'll get up a little bit earlier before I'll ever, spend time that's not present with my kids. Or I don't have the money. And I think that when you break it down, I love to break down the cost of kind of getting into this business or even getting someone started is less than $11 a month, which is insane because I paid like $120 for an Orange Theory month unlimited once, or even more maybe. But, and again, that's not to say that this opportunity is so much better, but it's just to show you that it is something that is truly affordable for so many people when you start to think about what you get. A year of workouts, you're getting your nutrition support, and you get this incredible community. And hey, bonus is that if it's still like hard to maybe afford monthly Shakeology or Energize, you can actually be a coach and help other people get that. And so it's just nice that there's they've thought of everything so you can really help people use this opportunity in whatever fashion they need to. And everyone does it already. I don't know enough people. And it's true. It's kind of crazy when you think about your Instagram, like maybe, or your social media, you see so many people who already do Beachbody, but that oftentimes is the algorithms because you're already following coaches. And also it's incredible how many people actually don't know about this opportunity or don't know about Beachbody. And I think that sometimes we, discount people who we think will automatically be a no. I mean, sometimes it's harder for me to talk to my closest friends about this because I don't want someone's opinion to judge me or anything like that. But the reality is you never know what someone's season is they are in, and you don't know their situation, and you just don't know how it could change someone's life. And so I think my biggest thing was getting over the fear of sharing and asking people if they wanted to jump in with me, because me not doing that, it could maybe change the trajectory of someone's life because they weren't asked to join. That's a more extreme, but the reality is you just never know. And so I think sometimes we overcomplicate. And then finally, I'm not good with sharing. I wasn't either. I think what's really cool about this is you get to decide how you want to run your business. And the even better part is we have so many incredible trainings that we can help you out with, whether maybe you don't understand how to do a story, or maybe you aren't sure how to get started with just sharing in general. There's like step-by-step resources and guides to help you. And I think that's just kind of the beauty of everything is you're just never alone. It's not like you sign up and you're just there to figure it out. You have cheerleaders, you have support, and you have resources every step of the way, which is just, really, really awesome. So that's all I have. Anyone have any questions, or you can put them in the chat. You can unmute yourself. Any other girls on the call want to add anything? Yeah, what Leah said, this is your new normal. You just build this into your life. You're working out, eating healthy, and taking care of yourself. So share that info with others. Yeah, because I think for me too, it's like health and wellness won't go out of style really. And, it's something that we all want to be better at, because I recognize that a good 10, 15, 20, 30-minute workout is going to make me feel so much better after it's done, even if I don't want to do it in the beginning.
So I'll just add to that too. I am not doing this because I wanted the income, and I appreciate everyone who's doing this for the income. I did this because I love to coach. I like to mentor others, and I like to share love. And it's a running joke that, hey, you want to join a running club? Because I did that everywhere I went. And so now it's, hey, you want to join me in my workouts? Come on, we got this virtual gym. And it's really not as difficult as everyone thinks. I have more people reach out to me now just because I'm tagging myself, hey, I'm working out, and I'm posting about it. And I'm not even saying crazy things like, oh, I'm doing this and this and this, and you should try this and this and this. It's just people are asking me, how are you doing that? I like your experience and I want to be a part of that. So you just have to be happy and positive and want others and share others, and people are going to reach out and say, I want that too. And then you say, okay, here's how you do it. And you've got this team to walk you through it, because I don't know what I'm doing still. I've only been doing this for a month or two. I don't know how long, but they'll tell you what you do next. So it's easy.
Yeah, and I think that that's what's really nice, is just seeing too, even someone who just started a month ago has enough passion behind it to want to share more, because again, it's not about, like, we can all have different goals for this, but it's just about helping other people, helping other women feel, confident and empowered. And when you feel confidence in your, wellness and your health, and that impacts like all other areas of your life. So it's really cool, and we're really fun to join us. But anyway, if you are watching the recording and have any questions, let us know, and let the coach who invited you, let them know. And just thanks so much for joining. It was fun, and I'm always down to do a midweek quarantine happy hour with everyone. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys, and I'm sure I will talk to you guys all soon, and I'll get the recording out. Have a good night. Bye.